Most people think a dog asking to sleep in the bed is a simple act of affection, a soft nudge or a hopeful whine for a bit of comfort. But when you are dealing with a Belgian Malinois or a German Shepherd that has spent its life clearing compounds in Kandahar or tracking high-value targets through dense brush, nothing is ever that simple. Imagine a pitch-black room where the only sound is the hum of a distant generator. You are exhausted, your kid is piled in the corner, and you've just hit the mattress. Suddenly, you feel a presence. You don't hear a paw scratch or a tail wag. You just feel the weight of a gaze. In the shadows, 70 pounds of tactical muscle is standing perfectly still, its eyes locked on yours, vibrating with a silent, calculated intensity. This isn't a pet looking for a cuddle, this is a highly trained operator engaging in a complex psychological negotiation for the most high-value resource in the room. Why does a military working dog refuse to beg like a normal pet, and what are they actually looking for when they stare at your bed? Number 1. The psychological myth-buster. In the civilian world, we've been conditioned to believe that a dog's desire to be on the bed is a sign of spoiling them or a simple bid for attention. We see a dog pawing at the sheets or whining at the bedside as a sign of love. But in the mind of a military working dog, the bed isn't just a piece of furniture, it is a tactical asset and the symbolic core of the pack's territory. These dogs do not beg. Begging is a low-status behavior, a sign of instability that these animals are specifically bred and trained to avoid. Instead of the typical whining or nudging you see in a lab or a golden retriever, a K9 uses what trainers call spatial pressure. They will enter your personal space and simply exist. They occupy the air near the bed with a staggering level of focus. They don't look away. They don't blink. They use their physical mass to signal a request. To the dog, this is an assessment of the hierarchy. They are waiting to see if the alpha, the handler, will yield the resource or invite them into it. If a K9 were to just jump up without an invitation, they would be breaking the most fundamental rule of their training, the respect for boundaries. In their mind, the bed is the inner sanctum. Accessing it isn't about luxury, it's about confirming their status within the unit. If they are allowed in, it means the bond is secure and the perimeter is shared. If they are denied, they accept it with a stoic, silent retreat to the floor, because their psychology is rooted in the stability of rules, not the gratification of whims. Number 2. The sensory experience and olfactory downregulation. To understand why a tactical dog is so drawn to the bed, we have to look at the world through their nose. A military working dog processes the world through roughly 300 million olfactory receptors. To them, a handler's bed isn't just a place to lie down, it is a concentrated, pulsing scent pool. Throughout a day of high-stakes operations, both the handler and the dog are flooded with cortisol, the stress hormone. When a dog is out in the field, their brain is on a constant loop of detection and reaction. They are scanning for explosives, watching for hostile movements, and monitoring the handler's every twitch. This keeps their nervous system in a state of high sympathetic arousal. When the mission ends, the dog needs a way to downregulate, to literally flush the stress chemicals out of their brain. The bed is the most potent tool for this. Because the bed holds the highest concentration of the handler's scent, climbing into that space provides an immediate chemical trigger. When the dog breathes in that concentrated aroma, it triggers the release of oxytocin and dopamine while simultaneously suppressing cortisol. It is a biological, stand-down order. They aren't seeking the soft mattress because it's comfortable for their joints, though that helps, they are seeking a sensory immersion that allows their brain to finally switch off the combat mode. It is an olfactory security blanket that tells their amygdala that the threat level has dropped to 0. Number 3. The tactical mindset and the elevational perimeter shift. We have to remember that a military dog never truly stops working, even when they are off duty. Their brain is hardwired to process the geography of a room in terms of lanes of fire, entry points, and defensive positions. In a standard tactical environment, a dog will often sleep near the door, acting as the first line of detection. However, when a K9 asks to get on the bed, they are proposing a shift in the tactical posture of the room. This is known as an elevational perimeter shift. By moving from the floor to the bed, the dog is seeking the high ground. In the wild, K9s and other predators utilize elevation to increase their field of vision and their ability to hear distant threats. By being on the bed, the dog is no longer just guarding the threshold of the door, they are securing the immediate physical space of the handler. They are moving from area defense to close-in protection. From the bed, the dog can feel the vibrations of the floor more accurately through the frame, and they are positioned to react faster if an intruder enters the room. When they stand by the bed and look at you, they are essentially asking, do we move the defensive line to this high point? It's a calculated move to co-guard the handler's most vulnerable state, sleep. They aren't looking to be taken care of, they are looking for a better vantage point from which to take care of you. Number 4. The pack dynamic of parallel proximity and restraint. One of the most fascinating aspects of military dog psychology is the concept of restraint. A pet dog might jump on the bed the moment you turn your back, but a high-tier K9 often demonstrates what is called parallel proximity. You will see them walk up to the edge of the mattress and lie down exactly parallel to it, often with their shoulder just barely brushing the side of the bed. They won't put a single paw on the covers. They will stay there, sometimes for an hour, in total silence. This is a psychological display of discipline and a request for attachment synchronization. They are offering their presence without imposing it. By lying parallel to the bed, they are signaling that they are on station and ready for the next level of intimacy, but they are waiting for the handler to initiate the crossing of the boundary. This restraint is a byproduct of their training, where every action must have a clear release or command. In the mind of the dog, the act of waiting is just as important as the act of joining. It builds a psychological tension that, when finally broken by the handler's invitation, reinforces a deep sense of relief and belonging. It's not about the bed, it's about the permission to occupy the same physical plane as the person they trust with their life. Number 5. The high-stakes instinct and reading biometric permission. This is perhaps the most incredible part of the interaction. A military working dog often doesn't wait for a verbal okay or a hand signal to jump onto the bed. Instead, they are monitoring the handler's biometrics. These dogs are hypersensitive to microscopic changes in human physiology. They can hear a human heart rate from several feet away and detect the subtle shift in the smell of sweat as a person moves from an alert state to a relaxed one. When the K9 is standing by the bed, staring at the handler, they are mapping the handler's internal state. They are waiting for the exact moment the handler's respiration slows, the heart rate drops, and the muscle tension in the shoulders dissipates. To the dog, these physiological markers are the true stand-down clearance. They know that once the handler has reached a certain level of biological calm, the rules of the working day have officially ended. It is only then, when they sense the handler is truly at peace, that they will finally make the move to jump up. This isn't an impulsive jump, it is a response to a biological green light. They are synchronizing their own nervous system with the handler's. When they finally settle in at the foot of the bed or lean against the handler's legs, their own heart rate will mirror the handler's within minutes. It is a total psychological and physiological alignment. Sharing a bed with a military working dog is not an act of petting an animal. It is the final stage of a 24-hour tactical cycle. It is the moment where the hunter and the protector allow themselves to become part of a single, resting unit. When that K9 stands by your bed and stares at you through the dark, they aren't asking for a treat or a belly rub. They are asking for the final confirmation that the mission is over, the perimeter is secure, and that the pack is whole. It is a silent language of respect and an unbreakable trust that has been forged through fire and exhaustion. To the casual observer, it's just a dog on a bed. To the handler and the K9, it is the highest form of psychological synchronization, a moment of mutual decompression that allows two different species to find a rare, profound peace in an otherwise violent world. The bond between a tactical handler and their dog is written in these silent negotiations, proving that even the most elite warriors need a place to stand down, as long as they are doing it together.